I used to wonder what it'd be like to be popular, to be like a cool kid, if you will, because I've never really been very popular. I've always been, honestly, I've always been a loser, to be honest. Is well, I guess self-proclaimed loser, but I'm thankful that I never really got like bullied for it, other than by my brother and his Xbox friends. But I never really had a lot of friends. I was never a popular kid. I was always more in the nerdy crowd. And I don't know, I used to get, I guess, jealous of popular kids. I mean, they're the cool kids, right? It's just how it is. So obviously you look up to them in some capacity. It's like not necessarily you want to be them, but at the same time, they're the cool kids. Everybody wants to be the cool kid. And so I used to wonder what that's like to be the cool kid, to be the popular kid. And I mean, as you get older, I feel like you kind of realize that it's really not anything. Popularity as a whole, if you really want to get into the what's the word, the psychology of it, I guess, then popularity is literally, it's nothing. It's all just human perception. But anyways, I'm not a psychologist or philosopher or whatever, so I'm not gonna waste my breath yapping about it. But I used to want to be cool. I always hated that I was kind of a loser. Like, I don't know, I didn't really hate it. I had my core friends, and that's all I needed. That's all that mattered. At school, I had like three friends or two friends, and at my daycare, I had like two friends. In my neighborhood, I had a couple friends, all very separated friend groups, all very different people, but they were my groups, or sort of. My problem has always kind of been that I kind of adjust my personality based on who I'm around and who I'm with. Never really never really one person, I guess. Like, obviously I'm still me, but it's just different parts of me for different people. You know, my video game friends are gonna hear about all my video game stuff, whereas my real life, not so nerdy, or I mean, yeah, we'll just go with nerdy, not so nerdy friends are gonna hear about everything else, you know? But I don't know, I still wondered what it'd be like to be able to just walk up to anybody and they know who you are, and they I guess respect you in some capacity. I don't know if this is gonna be big enough for my idea here. I didn't bring any fences with me, but that's fine. Is 1, 2, 3 for the door. Getting so sidetracked. Anyways, I had some cool friends at one point in time, at one point in my life. I mean, I guess that was always kind of the interesting thing, is I never really felt like a cool kid, but I kind of hung around with some cooler people. Like, one of my best friends through high school could literally walk up to any crowd of people and everybody would know who he is. Everybody would want to talk to him, you know, anybody and everybody all the time. Anywhere we went, people knew him, people knew of him, whatever. And I was kind of always just like a sidekick almost. Is what it felt like. Some ways, some days. And obviously it's not like on purpose. He never, didn't do it to make me jealous or in spite of me. He can't help that he's just a naturally cool person, naturally extroverted person. It's just who he is, right? But I was never that. I never could be that. Holy, what the hell? I never could be that. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not social like that. Very, very antisocial. Very, very keep to myself kind of person, which I suppose is, I mean, that's kind of why I'm a self-proclaimed loser, right? Is because I don't really want to get to know anybody. I don't really like to get to know people and talk to people and socialize a lot. But I also grew up to realize that, well, I suppose I can't speak for everybody, and having never been a popular person, I can't really say how true it is. But from what I've noticed, and from the people I've met and talked to, and God, this tree is so tall. What the being popular is really not all that it's cut out to be, because you're kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a stereotype to say you don't really have any real friends, you know? You just have acquaintances or whatever you want to call them. That was smart. Whereas, you know, in my growing up and in my life with my friends, we were always very tight knit. We knew a lot about each other. We knew each other's families and things like that. I remember one of my best friends, I went to his grandma's birthday dinner because I didn't have a ride home and his mom didn't want me to walk home by myself. So she was like, "Oh, no, you can just be one of us today. You're part of the family today," you know? I don't know if I feel like the more friends you have, the more, you know, people you surround yourself with, you don't really form those close knit connections, which I suppose is not necessarily true. You know, it depends person to person. Some people you just don't want to form a close bond with. Some people you just don't, you know. There's nothing more than the surface level. But then again, everybody is a person. Everybody has deeper thoughts and deeper feelings and deeper meanings, and but I don't know. I guess it just is depends on who cares, you know? Like if I guess to be honest, it's kind of just my own selfishness that has led me to be less popular because I just don't care enough about people to want to get to know them deeper than a surface level, but not in a mean way. At least I don't try to be mean about it. You know, I don't like actively avoid people that, why is there a witch here? I don't ever see witches anymore, or in general. But it's not like, how do I even phrase this? It's not like I don't care because I don't know you. I mean, obviously you have to get to know somebody to form a connection to care. I guess it's always been more of a personal problem of like, there's an invisible spider. I was wondering what that was, those particle effects were. I guess it's more just me not, like I said, just not caring enough to want to get to know more people deeper than a surface level. But at the same time, I feel like the more people you meet, the more people you try to form connections with, the harder it is to keep up with it, you know? And I guess, again, it is very person to person dependent because some people's brains are a little more put together than mine, and they're able to form, you know, long lasting connections and be able to keep up with people better than I can because I have a tendency to get overwhelmed and cut myself off from people and avoid contact as much as possible. It's kind of a personal problem, to be fair, but before I had these personal problems, these social problems, I should say, I just never understood how you could keep up with more than a handful. I mean, even a handful is a lot. Keeping up with the inner workings of three, four, five different people's lives, let alone more than that, even depending on, I guess, depending on how many friends you have, right? But it's a lot, I imagine. You know, It's a lot to, and so that's why I feel like you just kind of you don't really keep up with those people's lives. You have a very surface level friendship. You're not really worried about, their deepest thoughts and their hopes and dreams and stuff like that. But to me, that's what friendship's all about, is those deep thoughts and hopes and dreams and, deeper than the surface level. I guess different for different friends for different things, I suppose, but what's the point in considering yourself friends with somebody if you don't really care about anything more than, you know, I need to find a better phrase than the surface level, because that's what I just keep instinctively going back to, is surface level thoughts, surface level feelings. So I need to find a better phrase for that. We'll see what I can come up with, but I don't know. I just I never see a point to it. I feel like friendships need to have a meaning, I guess, and being friends with everybody don't really have that. I guess, what's the phrase they use, that something for everyone is something for no one? I think it's more specific than that, but if you're friends with everyone, are you really friends with anyone, Which I suppose I've seen that that's not entirely true. Like I said, I had a very popular friend and we were very close knit still, even though he was very, well, just friendly with a lot of people. I guess I don't know if he was close with a lot of people. That kind of just roots back into my point, is if you're friends with all these different people, how many people can you really get close with or consider yourself to be close to? How many people are you really letting into the deepest parts of your life, or being, I guess vulnerability is probably the word that I'm looking for. How many people are you being vulnerable with? Which doesn't really matter. It's not like something to be jealous of, I suppose. Is like, oh, why are you so close to that person and not me? But granted, in saying that, I feel like I've definitely gone through that before, where I'm like kind of jealous as to like, why are you so, close to them and not with me? But you get older and you realize that it's just the way people are. Some people just don't click. Some people just don't have that kind of a connection. You can't force people to feel some type of way. It's a lesson I wish I would have learned a long time ago. So you can't really force feelings onto people. You can't, can only accept what they give you. And if it's not what you want, that's too bad. Sometimes, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of off topic as to what I'm even trying to. I don't even know what I'm trying to get at. I've been trying to figure out something to talk about for so long. I have not been able to form more than like 3 words to a sentence all day. But I don't know. I've just been. I guess I'm kind of missing my sense of belonging, I think is the problem. Is I've always kind of had this struggle of fitting in or feeling like I fit in anywhere with anyone, which is why I've always kept such a close knit friend group, is because I find that small section of people or small amount of people that understand me or get along with me or whatever, and I just hold on to them, and I don't need anybody else. I don't need anything more. Just my close little group. I came here for something and I don't know what. How unfortunate. Oh well. Okay, well, that's fine. Why I've never been popular, because I find my close knit group of friends and I hold on to them like a child holds on to a teddy bear. I do everything in my power to keep that friendship and keep that friendship alive, and don't let anything happen to it up until, like 2020, 2019, somewhere around there, when anyways, not the point. The point is that being popular is a waste of time, and it's all a lie, and all you really need is to find that close group of friends that you get along with and that get along with you, and they'll get you through. You don't need a ton of people. You don't need everybody to think you're the coolest person in the world. You don't need anybody to think you're the cool in general, you know? It's really irrelevant in the real world, in the big picture, in the my other favorite phrase, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, you know? Popularity, coolness, it doesn't matter. You just find those people that you get along with, that you fit in with, and hold on to them. Don't let them go. Just, you know, find your little group. Find where you belong. I've struggled with that for a long time, trying to find my place, find my group, my sense of belonging that I'm searching for, or that I feel like I've been searching for. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and that's why I say that you gotta hold on to them. You gotta make sure you don't let them go. If that's your group, if that's your people, if that's your place, you know, that's where you need to be. And that can change very quickly. That's what happened to me. That's why I don't really talk to any of my friends anymore, because I just felt like I didn't belong anymore. My sense of belonging kind of, not necessarily, well, yeah, I guess faded is the right way to word it. It kind of just dwindled over time. I felt less and less like I belong, less and less, not necessarily important. Like, I don't think it was really a means of importance, you know? It was just, it was time for me to grow up and to move on and to find the next place that I belong. And, you know, I still haven't quite found it yet, but I'm working on it. Every day is another step towards, you know, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this, like that. Probably should make a red fence gate. That would probably look a lot better, but it's not the point right now. I'm trying to build a barn and forgetting how the roof was gonna look, because I had this whole idea, but anyways. You just gotta find your place, find where you fit in, find where you belong, you know, and stay there as long as you can. Don't be afraid to move on and find a new place, and it can be lonely, for sure. That's probably one of my biggest daily struggles, is just feeling so lonely. But that's okay. You know, life is lonely a lot of times. It's just something you kind of work through, get past, get over. Eventually, eventually you find where you belong, I imagine. It seems to be the case. Everybody seems to find their way one way or another. I mean, that's how it's been for the majority of my life, is just kind of out of the blue. Something happens, someone finds you, whatever, you know, like I'm just reminiscing, and my words are not coming to my head, but like going through school, when I was going through school, or lack of going through school, because I didn't really go, but I've talked about that so much before, I think. I don't even know how many times. Anyways, point is, make a long story short here. I didn't really go to middle school, right? Sixth, seventh, eighth grade, didn't really go at all. And so then freshman year of high school came around, and I was terrified. I was so nervous. I had been told repeatedly that I wasn't even going to graduate through eighth grade. I wasn't going to be able to go to high school because I didn't go to middle school, right? You know, kind of have to have the education to move ahead. But for whatever reason, they let me in anyways, let me go to high school. They couldn't hold me back in middle school, and so I just kind of got thrown to the wolves, right? And going into high school is already a terrifying experience. Freshman year is scary, right? It's kind of a, I don't know if stereotype is the right word. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just going back and forth for no reason. I don't know if stereotype is necessarily the right word, but it's high school. It's scary, you know? I mean, growing up in general is a very scary process, and high school is just another step of that. It's another part of that, and it's very intimidating, overwhelming, if you will. It's like your first step into adulthood kind of thing. And so, not having gone to eighth grade or gone to school for the past 3 years before that, I was a, basically, I was just a nervous wreck. You know, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know who I was gonna be talking to. Like, I didn't have any friends. You know, I just spent my whole last 3 years locked away in my room with my internet friends. That was it, you know, and, which is fine. That's all I needed, really. That was all that I needed for a long time, was just me and my internet friends. But I couldn't stay inside forever. I couldn't keep missing school forever, you know. You have to grow up eventually. You have to take action to your responsibilities. And so there I was, freshman year, just fighting the massive ache in my stomach due to the anxiety and the illness that kept me not necessarily bedridden, but for the sake of dramatics, the illness that kept me bedridden for the last 3 years. Just a huge, nervous, sick wreck, right? Walking into freshman day orientation, and all of a sudden somebody comes and taps me on the shoulder, and it's my best friend from years and years before. So excited to finally see me again because, like I said, it's been 3 years since I went to school. You know, he hasn't seen me since maybe like once or twice in seventh grade when I would pop in here and there, you know, so that probation wouldn't send me away from my family. So it'd been a while, and I was surprised that he even recognized me, but he came up to me and he started chatting with me like no time had passed at all. Like nothing had happened. Like I had been with him through everything, you know. And granted, we were just talking about everything that I missed from the years of not, or the months and months of not going to school, and the whole summer that I missed out on. You know, he was kind of just catching me up on everything, but it was like I had that sense of belonging for probably the first time that I can remember, where I just felt truly like not necessarily appreciated. I don't think appreciated dirt. I came for dirt and I keep forgetting to grab dirt. Not necessarily appreciated, but I just felt like I fit in. I had my person, or my people, I should say. You know, I mean, this is a specific story about one person, but it was a group of, I mean, me included. There was four of us, kind of the three amigos type of thing, whatever we called ourselves. I don't remember anymore. But it was my group. They came and found me, came to tell me everything that I missed, like no time had passed at all. You know, I felt like I just belonged. I felt like I fit in. I felt like I had a place to be and a reason to be there, you know? And it gave me, I guess, hope and inspiration, and made me want to go to school. It made me want to try to get over my issues and get over myself, and like I keep repeating, it made me want to grow up and get it together, get myself together. It didn't last very long because I proceeded to not go to school. But for a while, I tried. For a while, I felt important, felt just, I felt like I belonged, as I keep repeating. I just felt like I belonged. I felt like I finally had a place to be, a place to just be myself, you know? And I kind of lost that for a while, for quite a while, I should say. Growing up, getting a job, everything, everything in my life in general has kind of taken that sense of belonging away, I suppose. Not completely, you know. I feel in some ways I feel like I found a place. My place, maybe not entirely, but something, something close to it, you know? I just so ugly. So ugly. I gotta fix this. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna find a way to fix it. I don't know. So I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Find your place. Find your sense of belonging. Find where you fit in, because it doesn't really feel good to be an outsider, to feel like an outsider. I felt like an outsider for a long time in my life. I still kind of do sometimes. I feel like I have really just recently started trying to take take control of my own life and to live based upon what I want to do and whatnot, rather than feeling like I have to try to fit in and I have to belong somewhere. You know, I guess the point that I was trying to get at is that even if you do feel like an outsider, even if you do feel like you don't belong anywhere in particular and you don't really have, I don't know, friends or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. You belong right wherever you are, you know. You fit in just as yourself. You don't have to change yourself to fit in with anybody. That's been my problem for a long time, is trying to be the perfect person for whoever it is that I'm trying to change for: parents, friends, relationships, my girlfriend's parents, my friend's parents. Like, it doesn't matter. It's always changing for somebody, never for me. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live your life. You should just be you. You should be happy that you're you. And I'm trying to be happy that I'm me. I'm trying to accept that my sense of belonging is just right wherever I am. It doesn't have to be anywhere else. I don't have to be anywhere else. You know, we're all we're all on our own journey, our own pathway, yada yada yada. Same cliche stuff you've probably heard a million times. I've probably said it a million times, but it's true. You know, it's hard to accept. It's hard to believe, for that matter. It's probably why I repeat it so much, is because I just have such a hard time accepting it, coping with it, believing it, whatever terminology you want to use. But you just gotta be yourself, and your people will find you along the way, one point or another. You know, you'll find your place that you belong, your sense of belonging. That's what I said before. That sounded nice, I think. You'll find it eventually, even if you have to make it yourself and you are stuck feeling like an outsider for who knows how long. But it won't be that way forever. You know, eventually we'll all find where we fit in, we'll all find where we belong. We're not all going to be outsiders forever. Even if, like I said, even if we have to build it ourselves, doesn't matter. It does not matter. All that matters is that you. You're being you. You're embracing who you are. You're not trying to change yourself for the likes of other people. And, you know, stuff like that. More cliche life advice that you probably don't need to hear, probably don't want to hear, but I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for listening today. I appreciate it. I will hopefully be able to collect my thoughts a little better for the next one. But, anyways, I love you. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your day, week, month, etc. And, yeah. Goodbye.